Hi everybody, Richard Roy 2 here. Hope everyone's well. This uh, this is a response to Hatred, who put out a video regarding this recent event of a bunch of kids basically deriding and bullying a school bus monitor. Hi, Hatred. Hope you're well. Hope your family's well. I gotta do this. Sorry. I hope you can hear me well. Anyways, it's an interesting issue and something that I've been thinking on quite a lot, and I brought it up enough. People must think I'm pretty whacked with this and narrow focus, but there is some interesting elements to this that I think we should bring up. I wanted to say one of the problems seems to be institutionalism. Again, same sort of thing. People are being put into this system, this institution, country, where everybody is geared towards operating in a certain way. They're all, the whole institution is geared towards going to work and training and learning how to work and be economically progressive and productive. And everybody's got to try to fit into this bill. The parents have a hard time doing all the work that they do and knowing how to deal with their kids. And a lot of what I think we've lost is the ability to form relationships in a lot of ways. And it's possible that the parents haven't really been able to form a great relationship with their children. Or maybe they have, and I mean, this is another alternative. Maybe they have formed a great relationship, and what you're seeing is a reflection of what the parent is really like. And I don't want to ride that one too much. But a lot of times you got to look back too, because I remember myself as a kid. I don't know, maybe I was a strange kid, maybe I was overdeveloped or something like that in a certain respect, but a lot of times what I hear is that, I don't have all the evidence or anything, it's just I hear stuff and I just want to do this spontaneously. I don't want to go through all the, I'm going to put down all the documentation, all that sort of stuff. I'm sure there's a lot of people who have heard this sort of thing, that young children don't have their empathy that well developed, if developed at all, when they're really young. So they're going through these stages and they behave in certain ways, and we look at this as deplorable human behavior, but it's not human behavior. Maybe it's developmental stages. It's pre-human behavior. So, and a lot of this stuff is being recorded and whatnot because of all the devices that are available to us, and we have the opportunity to record a great deal more of what goes on out there than we used to. We used to think our children were little angels all the time, but we see stuff like this and say, oh my God! And it's normal behavior, we just haven't really noticed or recorded a great deal. They are kids. And one of the things I find with kids is they're developing their social interactions and social nature as they go along. And one of the things I find a lot of times with kids, and I remember myself being a kid too, is one of the things a lot of times what they want to do is they want to be looked upon favorably by their peers. So they weren't necessarily deriding and bullying her so much as trying to gain approval from the other kids, or what they thought would gain them approval from the other kids. So, maybe it's being taken a little bit out of whack and out of context in that respect. They may not necessarily see this as hurting the other person. That's an adult. It doesn't matter anyways. But the majority, again, we go with this democracy, the majority that counts is everybody else, because she's only one person, the bus monitor, and hurting her isn't as bad as getting favor from all the other consciousnesses that are out there. So, just something to think about. But again, we still have this issue or problem with being able to develop our children's ability. If a parent develops a relationship with the child, and the child has a respect, and I mean a specific kind of respect, not the kind of thing that they talk about fear, because I hear people talking about, oh, you should beat your kids, they'll respect you then. There's a kind of respect out there that people see this as respect. You respect me, and what they mean is you fear me. And I remember having a certain reverence for my father at one time as a child, that if he thought negatively about me, if I thought he thought negatively of me, that would be like a beating. Harm doesn't necessarily have to be physical force. Again, I've seen a lot of people talking about they should beat the kids and all that sort of stuff. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think there needs to be relationships formed, and I think our society has progressed to the point where relationships, healthy relationships, are becoming more and more difficult to develop because the system is operating against the kind of infrastructure and substructure of a social interconnectivity that allows us to be able to have this kind of loving respect, as I call it, toward each other. And that's my 2 cents worth on this subject. Like I say, I think this is a really interesting opportunity. In a sense, I'm glad it came up. It gives a lot of people a chance to talk about this. The approach of carrot and stick, I've mentioned somebody else as a joke, but there's 3 basic principles. You use the carrot, or you use the stick, or you use a combination of both. And I've found that we have to also include in that when we're talking about parents and children, we're talking about a relationship too. It's not just training an animal. And I have to be careful about that too, because I've trained animals, and I found the carrot to work really fantastically, and that alone. Stick is not necessarily needed in a lot of cases. And again, we are talking about children, and I'm not completely comfortable with stepping into that just without giving it further thought. But that's a perspective anyways. I'd like to hear other people's thoughts on this idea too. This is a great opportunity to discuss this issue. Thanks a lot. Bye bye for now. Take care.